there are other teams in the league right now that have already fired their coach. I mean, and if you really think about it, if the reporting is correct, Atlanta is looking like they're getting ready to get rid of Dan Quinn. And they the if the reporting is correct, then maybe Monday, Tuesday they'll get a press conference, and they'll go ahead and they'll make the move in that regard. Um, Look, when I said last week that until Christopher Johnson or Woody or whoever is in charge of making that decision right now, until that person pulls the trigger and makes the move, every week that we continue on the path that we're on is pushing us backwards. We're going backwards every week. So look, yeah, I hear the commentary. People are talking about, yeah, Joe Flacco is possibly going to come in, and all of the folks who thought we were going to win this week and we're gonna play better this week, and all that nonsense. Um, the fact of the matter is that those things aren't what is making the most impact on the situation the way that it is. And it's the coach and it's the coaching staff, and it's not it's the general manager not having the ability to make the necessary moves to make the changes that need to be made. Look, if he's in charge of player personnel, which is what he should be, um, the fact that he's still bringing in like a what's his name, Balaj, who ended up getting released. The fact that they actually tried to trade for him, they actually tried to give up a draft pick for that kid, and then bring him in and have him stink up the place and then get rid of him like 2 weeks later. That just kind of goes to show that something in the mix isn't right here. And if it is Adam Gase, and Adam Gase is aversion to actually having quality players on this team, that is a huge issue. Who's responsible for that? Whose ass really should be on the line when it comes to making the necessary changes, including getting Adam Gase's ass up out of the building? All right. I don't know. I can't call it. But what I'm going to say is that until that problem is rectified, until the ownership gap that allows for this equal reporting nonsense to continue, until that's resolved, this is it's going to continue to be trash, and we're not going to see any progress. What we really kind of do need to see right now is something different. uh, Jordan Jenkins said it this week. We continue to do things that we have done and they haven't worked. Insanity, the definition of, and I said it again last week, until we start to do things differently, including firing the coach midseason, we're going to continue to get the nonsense that we've been getting. Look, you make great points, CJ, and I'm gonna say this, and I want to wrap this up, but we're beating a dead horse here. There isn't a Jets fan who watches this team that doesn't recognize where the issues lie. And some of them, they maybe haven't gone to the points that we've discussed here, as far as saying that even Joe Douglas at this point in time, and just if you have been following the show, thank you. If you've been with us, since the beginning, that you understand. A few weeks ago, when I said that Joe Douglas is actually gonna, or excuse me, is not going to, is now part of the reason why we have the issues that we have. If he is not able to make the moves that we need to make, I think you're missing the point. I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around. There's enough blame to spread, but we need to kind of make sure that we recognize the tiers of what is most important and what is not. Having the difficulty with the players that we have on this team, and the JV caliber talent for the most part, that is difficult. It is on Joe Douglas slightly. Joe Douglas is coming in. He's trying to change things around, what have you. But we still haven't seen much from his draft picks either, other than Makai Becton and Braden Mann, who I'll still say is 1 and 1A as of right now, because Mann's been able to play every week,
Right.
and Makai is hurt right now. I don't want to take anything away from him because he's playing at a high level when he is in the game. But we haven't seen much of anything from anyone else. So until see the benefits of what it is that he has put in place, the jury's still out on him. Also, we saw Mike McCagnon bring in first round guys and have those first round guys, be good for whatever period of time. But then we also see that Jamal Adams is on another team right now. So
Yep.
until Joe Douglas puts some hardware on the wall here, until we actually see his draft picks kind of step up and make that turn, and make this a functional team, he is not exempt from any gunfire that we're going to shoot at him. So As of right now, every week until something changes, it's going to continue to be trash. Period. I want to laugh. I want to have fun. I want to be able to look at this and enjoy this and say that other than Jamison Crowder, we have some offensive talent. But as of right now, Adam Gase is going to destroy any possibility of any offensive talent on this team being able to be seen. We have Le'Veon Bell as a New York Jet. Le'Veon Bell is a New York Jet.
Yeah,
Where
and
is Le'Veon Bell?
he still continues to get misused. He has to split carries between he and Frank Gore. And I mean, look, Frank Gore
Frank
has
Gore?
actually played okay, but you want to know something? This is the time now where they should start to be injecting LaMichael Piron into this lineup. We actually saw LaMichael Piron on two different special teams plays, an area in which he really does not play that much on. Why are you going to have this kid returning kickoffs? Okay, and where
Sure.
the fuck is Jabari Zuniga? Where is he? He should be on this team. He should be active. Why is he not out there?
This is as frustrating as it'll get. And I mean, I'm just going to say it because I think Hannah, when he was on with us, I think he kind of did make a really valid point. And when you watch what it is that we are fielding every week, how could you be emotionally invested in this team? How could you be emotionally invested in what's going on here? I'm trying to be mindful of my own mental health because I realize that if I do spend as much time being as angry as I should be based on what it is that I see, I'll be pissed off all day, every day, and I won't get anything else done. I've got too much going on in my life right now to allow this BS product to stop me from doing what it is that I need to do. But I'm going to say this: we cannot, as an organization, we cannot punt on this season. We just can't do it. There's too much at stake. We don't punt on a season when we don't have. Look, Mekhi Becton is not going to make his second contract here if we don't do something. And Mekhi Becton is looking like a generational talent when it comes to the position that he plays because he's manhandling grown ass men week to week as a rookie. Why is it that our first round talent never makes it beyond that first contract? Sam Darnold doesn't look like he's going to make it beyond his first contract here. The only people that we've had to even make it seem like we're moving in the right direction, they're not going to make it. Marcus May's not going to make it to his second contract here because I'm going to tell you, if anyone offers anything else outside of what it is that we offer, they'll take it in the league. I tweeted out earlier that my fantasy team is going to be every player that is in their first year with the new team after leaving the Jets because everybody that leaves here balls out. We yelled and screamed about why it is that they wouldn't re-sign Robbie, and I actually had knuckleheads talking to me about how he's not worth $10 million a season. You're idiots, all of you. Anyone that ever said that Robbie Anderson wasn't worth that money, look, you don't have to like it. You know what my Twitter is, at Spotty Blackman, hit me up. You're a fool. You're a moron. You've missed the entire point about what functional football is. I don't care. Be mad, die mad. There's a reason why Robbie Anderson is averaging what it is that he's averaging over there because there's an offense that knows how to put players in position. Robbie was our number one guy. We make some of the adjustments that we needed to make on offense, albeit with Adam Gase, as our coach. And Robbie is still an effective playmaker. One trick pony. Look, I'm gonna let that go because again, I think anybody that recognizes what it is that real football looks like, you can be mad if you want to be. You can say, "Oh yeah, we'd still be 0-5 or whatever if you want to be." But the fact of the matter is that Sam Darnold, who we were looking at to build as our franchise cornerback, is now in a much worse position. Joe Flacco who's to be perfectly honest with you, he may actually end up starting again next week.
Yeah, he
With no
probably
way.
will end up starting again next week because we really don't know the status
With no
of
way.
Sam Darnold and that separated shoulder. But really quick, I just want to go over just a couple of notes from this game. Joe Flacco actually finished the day 18 of 33 for 195 yards, average 5.9 yards per carry with a touchdown. He was sacked twice for 17 yards. Kyler Murray finished the day 27 of 37 for 380 yards, one touchdown, one pick, one sack for 11 yards. John Franklin Myers actually getting his first sack. So that was actually some good news. Le'Veon Bell, we just talked about him a little bit, 13 carries for 60 yards. Frank Gore, 9 carries for 30 yards. Joe Flacco actually showed some wheels in this game, 4 carries for 20 yards, and actually had a couple of scrambles in which he kept a couple of drives alive. So that was actually pretty nice.
For his life.
You know,
for his life.
And then, one of the things that really just here's another one too. Jamison Crowder, 8 receptions, 116 yards today. His longest was the 52-yard bomb that he caught. Okay. And he was actually targeted 10 times. Now look, I was one of the people who had said, you know what, if Robbie wants to go sign somewhere else, fine, that's fine. Okay, so I'll throw myself out there in saying that. When they had gone ahead and they had signed Brashard Perryman, everyone thought that Brashard Perryman, okay, well, because of his production for the end of last year, that he was going to come in and pick up right where he left off, and Brashard Perryman hasn't even stepped onto the damn field. Okay? Now we've got Denzel Mims still having hamstring issues. There's a possibility he may not even suit up. He may not even play this season. So now we're stuck with a wide receiving core that looks like Jamison Crowder, Braxton Berrios, Vincent Smith if he decides to come back, and Jeff Smith. And both Braxton Berrios and Jeff Smith both dropped touchdowns on successive downs during this game today. We just don't have the wide receiver talent on this team. And Chris Herndon, man, will the real Chris Herndon please stand up? Because that kid cannot catch a cold, let alone a pass.
I think he is. Look, where we are right now as far as talent, we knew we were going to be deficient. We knew it was going to take more than one offseason for Joe Douglas to do what it is that he needed to do. But I'm just going to be honest with you. Some of the mistakes that he made as far as not bringing in guys is glaring talent. They're glaring deficiencies. Excuse me, if I can just clarify that. Look, I understand folks not wanting to overpay Robbie. And I know that they were bandying around some pretty enormous numbers. And I'll keep that real. I didn't believe that we should have paid, or excuse me, pardon me, let me clarify. I don't believe that we would have had to pay $15 million to bring Robbie in the way that I think triggered most people to say he's not worth it. But I'm just going to say this. In the market where it is that he was understanding what it is that he meant to Sam Darnold and to this offense, if we would have offered him a 2-year, $26 million, $25.5 million contract, Robbie Anderson would still be a Jet right now. And notwithstanding, all of the other injuries and other things that have decimated this wide receiver room, even with Brashard Perriman, having both of them was a better case scenario than having neither of them. And as of right now, we don't have either. And Robbie is balling, because he's gotten to a situation where people around him know what it is that he's capable of, and they're putting him in positions to succeed. He's making highlight reel catches every week, which is what he was doing here. But he's doing it with Teddy Bridgewater, who arguably isn't as good of a talent as Sam Darnold is, but obviously is looking so much better than Sammy is this season. So again, that's another conversation to be had. But we're struggling, man. I mean, we're going to continue struggling until something changes, and we have to overhaul this. Even Greg Williams, man, I'm going to tell you right now, Greg Williams is looking like he probably shouldn't make it to the end of the season either.
No, he probably
and that's difficult because well, I mean, last season Greg Williams was what it is that we kind of hung our hats on and said that was going to be that one of the only bright spots and one of the solid aspects of what it is that we bring into the season, and it wasn't it. He's not it. He hasn't been it.